come to you.
Okay. Yay! 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 That is one of my favorite songs, and I have to say that was one of the first songs that you gave me, and it was strange actually how me and Jaiden met. It was through a producer, and anyway, but that was one of the first. I just was in love with that song, and I used to play it all the time, and I used to play it for everybody I knew, and sometimes people would be like, leave me alone with that, and they would get sick of me. But what I wanted to ask you is, now you're at a different stage, and I'm noticing that like people who didn't accept you are now accepting you a little bit more. For the people who are coming up and maybe in a different, maybe at the level where people are kind of like, who's that? Or they don't know who they are, and, they're struggling with that, and they're in a position where people are kind of like, not paying attention to them. And then they get to the point where people are like, whatever. How do you actually handle, first of all, not being like, oh, you didn't know me then. So, like, because there are celebrities who are like that, and then people say, oh, they're snotty or whatever. And then, how do you handle that?
I think it's a delicate balance. Like, you have to deal with the people that don't believe or just are bandwagon, hoppers, like they hop on now or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's all things that will, help your movement grow and help what you're doing grow. So you kind of still have to embrace them. But you definitely will always remember the faithful people that were there from the beginning and who, came to your first shows and came to things that other people didn't think were important enough for them to come to. So you kind of handle that. And I think for any aspiring artist, anybody who's coming up and trying to do it, just continue to study your craft, continue to do what you're doing, and don't stop, and don't let anybody's criticisms or anybody's non-acceptance make you feel like stopping. Because I mean, there were definitely moments where I could have decided, you know what, I'm maybe not as good as these people, or maybe I'm not as accepted as these people. I don't have the right connection or whatever. But it was what I wanted to do. It was my passion, and I knew that if I just kept at it, things would happen for me. And I looked up, and before I realized it, I was working with everybody that I had dreamed of working with. So
And that's with everything, though. Like, we always think that it's just, you know.
The Cure.